Mike.
Good luck. Good to see you again. How's it going?
Good to see you.
Yeah.
What brings you to Columbus, Ohio here today?
I mean, apart from the memorial?
Apart from the memorial.
I mean, seeing everybody, meeting everybody, interacting.
This is a great occasion, right?
Absolutely.
361 is doing a good job of bringing people together.
I mean, fabulous. That's why I'm here. It's been fantastic already, and I look forward to tomorrow.
So, Mike, you need to give us some ideas about what you are working on, or
of course,
how you came about this idea of yours. And I've been listening to it, and it's all very interesting, but I think it's there for a much wider audience.
Well, that's the intention, actually. So my partner and I, we met at the systematic asset manager, AQR. Okay, so Applied Quantitative Research, AQR.
And that's a hedge fund in New York.
It is a hedge fund-like investment vehicle.
Let's call it a...
Yeah, it's a hedge fund.
It's an asset manager.
Exactly, with hedge fund characteristics. And what we saw was, we were working on AQR's systematic fixed income offering, which can be thought of as trying to take hedge fund concepts to the traditional fixed income space. And it was a great initiative, but it was one that we felt had opportunities for improvement. And so that's what we're trying to do now. We look at the investment landscape for traditional fixed income. So, how pension companies, insurance companies match their liabilities, the 40% of your 60-40 portfolio. And we continue to see an opportunity for, alternative alpha to enhance what's available to people in that space without making it inaccessible, without having these kinds of gates that hedge funds or private vehicle managers may choose to put on for good reason. Our thesis is you don't need to do that, and you can still allow people to benefit from these insights. The idea started at AQR. AQR has since moved out of the space.
Okay.
And we feel that there's an ongoing opportunity to deliver for people in this way. And for us, that comes down to two additional sources of investment alpha. A systematic approach, and I mean that in the most technical way possible, actually having a computer look at the investment landscape and determine the overall health of the credit cycle, and then we combine that with unique public and private market debt investment opportunities in a way that still has a more traditional liquidity profile to try to benefit as broad an audience of investors as possible.
So you're trying to bring the private debt and the public debt together on the same platform? Is that
That's
one
correct.
of the important pieces that asset managers should be looking at, or?
Well, so I'm a former chief risk officer.
Okay.
And so that means that I tend to take a very contrarian approach to these things, because for most of my career, I wasn't sitting on this side, I was sitting on the other side, sort of saying,
don't do that.
Or sometimes I didn't have the authority, we'd say who has the authority to say don't, but then the doors close, you're like, you don't have that authority, Mike. So oftentimes I had to be like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And one of the ones where I didn't feel I ever got a good answer, and I know there are people here who are going to hate me for saying this, but it was this idea that you had to lock up the money. Why? And so, I started with, when we were launching JRX, I actually went back to my private placement suppliers, and I asked them a question, because we were running into some thesis questions from some initial investors who were saying, wait a minute, you have daily liquidity type instruments that you're going to commingle with this private stuff. What happens if I want my money back? And I was like, well, what's the longest that I can keep your money?
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't know, a quarter. So I go back to the people who want to sell me the private placement vehicles, and I say to them, if I have a quarter, can you work with me to find a new home if I have to sell down? And they were like, sure. So then that was sort of it. If the best private market transactions that I want to invest in on behalf of my investors can be redeemed in a quarter, I don't need to hold anything
Yeah.
longer. And then all of a sudden, everything started to come into place.
That's so interesting. And with this, you're targeting some of the largest asset managers. So who do you think are the biggest target markets for you?
Well, for us at the end of the day, the core concept is we actually want to deliver everything for everybody.
Okay.
So because we do all of this stuff natively, our genuine objective is to be able to become a diversified asset manager across liquidity and volatility profiles. Our first fund, just by virtue of convenience, will be a private fund, and we're going to target really anybody who isn't satisfied with what their fixed income portfolio has done this year. Our vehicle would be up in this environment, which I think is a unique position in the fixed income world. And as we grow, we want to try to do as much for anybody who touches a bond as we possibly can.
That is so interesting, and I think all the best for that.
But thank you. That's why looking forward to bringing this to the masses.
Absolutely, and I think this is bringing this whole concept together and being able to do this for different asset managers or different allocators will be a clear advantage. I think let's talk about this to multiple people.
That's the plan. That's the hope.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Come join our 361 firm community of investors and thought leaders. We have a lot of events created by the community as we collaborate on investments and philanthropic interests. Join us.